Paul Walker's character was almost played by Eminem. So it was almost Timothy Olyphant and Eminem in this movie.
That movie would have been a dumpster fire. I'm just saying it. That's terrible.
Let's go for a little ride.
Paul Walker does not look like a cop.
No,
he's too good looking to be a cop.
Especially compared to the other cops he's with.
For sure. Yeah, one of them was Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
I think Dom was just wrapped up in the stunning good looks of Paul. That's like, there's no way he's a cop.
He just got lost in it. Yeah, he's just so lost. He could do anything.
Brian Earl Spillner. Sounds like a serial killer name. Is that what you are?
No, man.
I'll tell you what, when I watched this movie, it opened the floodgates to everybody putting neon lights under their cars, everybody putting huge sound systems in their trunks. And it's just, everybody thought that they were Dom or Brian. And yet it's like our cars were not nearly the same cool factor.
We were Brian, but we were Brian Earl Spillner. You know,
I'm Brian if he were the guy in RoboCop that had the toxic waste spilled on him. That's what I am.
Don't touch me, man!
You know, when the movie opened with a public service announcement by Paul Walker about safe driving and things like that, later in life, he did say if he, I don't want to mess this quote up, but he was happy if he goes out going at a high speed. I think he was happy, he said, or something like he was doing something he loved. He really immersed himself in cars. He was at a car show that morning before he passed away. Like, he was one of those, as I think a lot of people would say, Heath Ledger, when he passed away, was like a thing. When I found out about Paul Walker, I cried. It was like a Kobe Bryant style. I really connected with his character in all of these movies because he was just something I wasn't. And so it was easy to connect with him and live out this fantasy through his eyes.
Everything I would do, you were standing there by my side. And now you gonna be there for the last ride.
I think he may be the pioneer of making bald look cool.
Oh, great. Now you've got The Rock mad at us. Oh, jeez.
You better hide your baby, or I'm just playing.
You better hide that big ass forehead.
I was just joking.
Jason Statham. He's like, what'd you say?
All three of them in this franchise, which is mind-boggling to me that they're all now in this franchise. And now Jason Momoa, who's not bald, but, you know, like, it's crazy. You talked about 22 years, and now if you look back at the cast we're talking about in this movie, and who's in it now as villains and side characters?
John Cena,
John Cena.
Yeah,
I couldn't see him in that last movie, but he was in there. The one wrestling person who listens to this just maybe got a chuckle. Maybe.
It's something that's been in the internet cycle for so long, but it still never gets old.
Like, the only thing I think about, especially later in the movie when Letty goes under the car, I mean, Chevy Chase. Christmas Vacation. I told Scott, I was like, Chevy did it first. You know? Like,
I didn't do this on purpose.
It's just, and the way Chevy does it with his eyes, just like, you know, it's like, Letty's trying to do this. Chevy just did it, you know?
Eat my rose, red liver lips.
I firmly believe that they did that so well in this movie is why then when you watch the later film and you hear it's been a long, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's from this moment in this movie. And for them to have this bond that's bigger than two guys that had two different lives, and one was supposed to arrest the other, and instead their brotherhood carried through. Like, it's a beautiful thing. Like, it's a little like, oh, I'm describing this in the Fast and the Furious franchise, but it is. You can't take that away from this franchise for sure.
I owe you a 10-second car.
I firmly believe that Fast and the Furious and Gone in 60 Seconds are in the same universe.
Okay, let's run.
Let's look up the list of the Gone in 60-second car list that he needed to heist to save his brother. 3 of the 50 cars on that list are cars that Dominic Toretto owns in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Oh.
No joke, man. This is a 1969 Dodge Daytona, codename Vanessa, driven by Dom in Fast 6. 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, codename Jessica, driven by Dom in Fast 7. 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda, codename Shannon, driven by Dom in Fast 7. I feel like Memphis, a trained car heister had to know Dom.
Oh,
and,
for sure.
And stole those 3 cars to save his brother. And instead of becoming villains with each other, I firmly think that Memphis Reigns knocked on Dom's door, returned those 3 cars, and professed to him the reason why. Family.
Yeah, family.
And then they became family. I think Memphis Reigns and Dominic Toretto are best freaking friends.
Salute me, familia.
Hey, man, I thought you were from Long Beach.
Where you have the Dodge Charger with Dominic Toretto in it and the GT500 with Memphis Reigns side by side, and they tear into an opening credit scene. Holy crap. Like, it would be the biggest grossing Fast and the Furious movie of all 10 of these films. I just could not comprehend Nick and Vin on the same screen together. Like, that would just be so freaking amazing.
Especially as those characters. Yeah. And Nick
and then
has
you
never
then
gone
you
away.
bring in Angelina Jolie with Michelle Rodriguez too. Man.
Oh, man. And Charlize Theron.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Young David and adult David would be happy.